Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we visit a market in Scunthorpe looking for more traders. We ask the people of Grimsby about job prospects in their town. And tonight's guest is Gemma Pullen with friends who are going on an expedition into the heart of Africa.
Works to the outside of Hull's Holy Trinity Church is expected to be completed by the end of the year. That's according to Mark Coates from Allen Wood and Partners, the company carrying out the external renovations. The outside is to be adapted into a plaza-style public space to hold concerts and events.
We're just waiting for final approvals for the tree, but essentially we'll be starting with full-on construction very shortly. We're working in collaboration with the City Council and working towards completion this year.
Once that's finished later in the year, we hope to start a programme of detailed renovation within the church, which makes sure that we're a suitable and sustainable venue for 2017 and all the events that will happen here and for our life carrying on in the future.
The Visit Hull and East Yorkshire Board say more visitors are flocking to the area than ever before, and they're asking for your nominations for the region's best attractions. This year sees the 7th annual Remarkable Hull and East Yorkshire Tourism Awards being celebrated, and the deadline for entries is this coming Friday.
In job terms, it's one of the biggest industries locally, and it boosts the economy throughout the year. And the good thing in terms of Hull and East Yorkshire is we seem to be bucking the trend slightly in that in the latest figures show that we've had more visitors in the last 12 months than we had in the previous 12 months. Nationally, there's been a little bit of a decline, but not much. But we're very healthy in terms of our tourism figures, and we're expecting it to continue that way because, of course, next year now, 2017, Hull will be City of Culture.
East Riding of Yorkshire Council tell us they're taking all responses on board before they'll determine what changes, if any, are to be made to the authority's library service. The first phase of the public consultation ended on the 21st of December. The council received 7,780 responses by the closing date. And one of the UK's best-known comedians, Joe Brand, is embarking on an aptly named hell of a walk, travelling from Hull to Liverpool on foot, covering 150 miles in just 7 days for sport relief. Joe sets off on Friday. Well, that's the latest from the news.
North Lincolnshire Council is encouraging people to consider running their own stall within one of the borough's famous markets. Erica Barker went along to Scunthorpe to find out a little more about supply and demand.
Buying a gift for a loved one or purchasing those everyday essentials, Scunthorpe Market aims to be a one-stop shop selling everything under one roof. North East Lincolnshire Council is urging people to consider running their own market stall with around 20 empty units available. It may look like hard work, but they say there's certainly money to be made, and many of the market traders I spoke to today agreed.
My business, I've been here 7 years, and my business has increased every year because it takes time for people to know you're here and for you to develop your business. And it's the same with all the businesses in here. You can't walk in and expect people to know you're here in the first week and make $1 million. You have to build the business up over the years, and that's what's happened with mine.
The food hall is open 6 days a week, with a stall setting you back £60. And for the old hall, which is open twice a week, it'd cost you £30. And the market attracts traders from not only Scunthorpe.
I come a long, long way to come to this market. I come from Newark. I'd done my homework because there was nothing for the people in this area, fabric. And I've been doing this now for a couple of years at another market, and decided that there was a gap here. The biggest problem really now is to get the customer back in the market, because a lot of them now go to the out-of-town units, etc., which is a shame because this particular market's got so much to offer.
We've got some fantastic markets within North Lincolnshire, certainly here at Scunthorpe and at Ashby, and also at Brigg and our other market towns. And realistically, I think they provide a focal point to a method of shopping that used to be traditional, but actually it's here and it's going from strength to strength. And I think in terms of opportunities there are for people, particularly those that might just be setting up in business, thinking about it. The invitation is there. Come and join us. It's a fantastic opportunity for you to really explore a different way of working, maybe.
If you're not one for New Year's resolutions but looking for a change in career, maybe this opportunity could be right up your street. Erica Barker, Estuary TV.
My guests tonight are off on a rather exciting expedition to the heart of the wilds of Africa. Gemma Pullen and Joe Axel, a little later with Evie Hyams, are going to be visiting South Africa a little later this year. And both of you, welcome. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
What prompts this fantastic trip to the Southern Hemisphere, Gemma?
We have a long-standing connection with Oasis South Africa. They're our link school. And we've been wanting to take more students over there to help out and also to help them have a bit more understanding of the culture and the lives that people live over there.
Well, we should explain first, you're from the Oasis Academy where?
Wintringham.
Okay, in Grimsby.
Yes.
And how many people are you travelling with? How many of your pupils, your students?
7 students who are prefects in Year 11 and 2 staff members, myself and Mr Cowling.
Okay. And how long are you off for, Joe?
We go for 11 days and then the 13 days will include our flights.
Okay, yes, because it's a day to get there and a day to get back, isn't it? What will you be doing there?
We're not too sure yet. We haven't been set an itinerary by South Africa, but all we do know is that we'll be helping out with local community projects, as well as doing some exploring of South Africa itself and learning about its culture and how it's like to live over there compared to Grimsby.
Okay, I would imagine there might be 1 or 2 differences.
Yeah, I believe so.
You're going to be in a very specific part of Johannesburg, Gemma.
Yes, we're going to be in Cosmo City, which is an area where they've tried to integrate people and make it a more integrated area of Johannesburg. It's not really rich at all, but they do have brick houses and running water, so we are quite lucky in that respect.
Well, South Africa doesn't have a particularly successful history of integration, does it? I mean, 20 years after the end of apartheid, it's still not working properly.
No, not in all areas. Thankfully, that's something that Cosmo City actually does really well. It looks at integrating all members of the community, whatever colour, race, and also different classes as well. So it's a real mixed area. It'll be very interesting to go into and meet lots of different people in that area.
What sort of preparation have you been making, Joe, for a trip like this?
So it's taken us a while. We only sort of realised that we were all going to be going back in October, so we haven't had a long time to sort of prepare ourselves, but everything's sort of sorted out. So all the fundraising is nearly complete now. We're just on that final push.
And how have you been raising those funds?
So we started off back in October with smaller projects at school and just around, and then last weekend we actually had the Oasis Academy Wintringham Prefect Ball, where we invited people over from Grimsby Town, so with John Fenty, with the Deputy Mayor, and they all came over for a ball at the Oakland Hotel.
And this raised how much money?
£6,000.
Was it a successful party?
Very successful, yeah.
How was the food?
Amazing.
Good.
Amazing.
Okay. Well, if it raised £6,000, that's an extremely successful party. Much more to go, Gemma? Need more money?
Yeah, we're always going to be raising money. We're actually paying for training a teacher over there, so we will be able to educate more students over there. And obviously, the more teachers we can pay for training, that would be great. I think we're going to make it a yearly thing as well. We'd like to try and take students out next year as well, and keep up our link with Oasis South Africa.
And how long has this link been going? Because is the Oasis in South Africa, that's a sister organisation, or is it part of the same consortium, as it were? What's the relationship?
It's part of the Oasis family, but it's not an academy, it's a charity over there. So they have health projects, educational projects, projects where they try and keep people off the streets. So there's many different things they do there. It's not specifically an academy. But we've had that link since we became Oasis.
Is there much in common between the students that they'd find in Johannesburg and the students that you find in Grimsby? Is there, I would like to think that there's more in common than there is apart.
I would say so. We have written letters to them in the past, and we've had teachers come over and people in projects come over, and it seems that they enjoy it over there, like our students hopefully enjoy our academy. They're hardworking, a lovely bunch of people, so we're really excited to meet them and have face-to-face contact with them.
Joe, there's a more to South Africa than just the sort of the cultural and the social history and the political history. I believe there's a certain amount of natural beauty over there. Are you going to be getting a chance to have a look at the country at all?
Yeah, we are. We're off to one of the lion sanctuaries over there, where we'll get up close with some of the amazing wildlife.
Not
South
too
Africa.
close?
Not too close.
Not
yeah.
too close.
Okay.
No, but as close as we're able to.
And talking of dangers, I mean, with South Africa, notwithstanding, I mean, you know, do be very careful when you go to the toilet in the middle of the night, but not to be mistaken for a burglar. But it's quite a rough society. You've got some protection set up, have you? You've got some sort of security.
Yeah, we've got the local people, but we're also going to be staying in a secure hotel in an area that's safe, so we don't have any worries like that, thankfully.
Okay, and it's going to just be a tremendous culture shock, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. Very different to over here, especially for the students who've never been. Some of them have never been abroad, so it'll be a massive culture shock, but it'll be a very good experience.
Gemma, please don't go away. Joe, going to maybe get one of your colleagues to come in for the second half after the break. Please join us then, as coming up we have the people of Grimsby talking about their views on employment prospects in the town, and Erica Barker will be bringing you all the regional news. Welcome back, you're watching Estuary News. Still to come, we have the people of Grimsby giving us their views on employment in the town. Erica Barker brings us all the regional headlines, and we'll have the latest local sports news and results. My guest Gemma Pullen is still with me, and she's joined by Evie Hyams, also from the same Oasis Academy, and talking about their trip to South Africa. Evie, how do you feel about this? This is quite an adventure, isn't it?
I'm very excited. This is the first opportunity that more than 2 prefects have got to go. It's very lucky that it's been this year with the new interim principal, Miss Stennett.
Right, so it's all her. She's the international cosmopolitan who's brought this about, is she?
Yeah, she's pushing big family bonds between our school and the South African.
Okay,
schools.
well that sounds absolutely fantastic. Have you travelled much before? Are you a widely ranging person?
Yeah, I've been on lots of family holidays, but and with school we went to Paris.
Wonderful.
Part of the French trip, which is wonderful.
Absolutely. How's your French?
Okay.
All
Good.
right. I
Passable.
thought for a minute you were going to attempt to speak the language there. It's probably better than your Afrikaans, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is it so valuable, Gemma, for our young people to be able to be exposed to these fantastic experiences across the world?
I think it builds up many life skills that they don't have the opportunity to within the school, in the academy. They're able to, well, they all helped run the ball. So they contacted local businesses. You don't normally get that in your day-to-day life at school. And also they get to see the culture, understand the history. And travelling is such a wonderful experience for anyone. It just, you know, is the building of most of our students, I think.
Well, in that case, I mean, is there a possibility that in future years more students can travel? I mean, it's wonderful that you've got as many going as you have now, but it would be fantastic to get the whole lot out there.
Yeah, Miss Stennett would like for this to continue. She believes that obviously it's a great opportunity for our students and also to help the people over in South Africa as well. So it's something we look to continue.
Would you, Evie, how would you feel if groups of students from South Africa were to come here to Grimsby? Would that be happy?
That'd be great. Well, we've had some teachers come over. We have Scotch. He's come over twice in the last year. And it's just a great way to learn about the different cultures and the different lives they lead.
Okay, well, it's a cosmopolitan adventure all round then, isn't it? A round trip. Gemma, what do people have to do if they want to contribute? You're still looking for money. How can people help?
We are indeed. They can drop in a donation to Oasis Academy Wintringham. That would be great. Our contact details are on the website, or they can actually come into the academy.
And if you want to go to South Africa, I suppose you just have to go and be a pupil at your school.
You do indeed, unfortunately.
Okay, listen, I do hope you'll come back maybe later on in the year and tell us how it went.
We will indeed.
Thank you very much for coming in, and good luck with the trip.
Thank you.
Recent employment figures reveal a fall in unemployment across the country. But do people really think that the chances of getting jobs, especially for young people, have improved? Ahead of the latest stats that are due to come out tomorrow, we asked people in Grimsby what they think.
Most shops around here are shut, so no, not very good at all.
I honestly don't know. I've been out of the employment sector for quite a while because I'm fairly old. So I really don't I haven't any experience of this.
Do you think with new shops opening and stuff that's a positive?
I think it could be a positive, but as you can see from the precinct, a lot of shops are shutting. So it's probably not very good.
No, not at all, no.
And why is that?
Well, I don't know, there's just a decline of industry around here, really, isn't it, really? And once people move, if they go to university, they never come back, do they?
Yes, there is. I think the young children, not the young people, do definitely need to get out there more to actually search for that opportunity, because it definitely did for me. One of the things that I actually got into is just like working in a program where it was training me full time and also being different skills as well, so they can actually do that. But it's just getting them out of the bed.
No, it's terrible.
And why is that?
There's just no work at all. Everything's closing down. Yeah, it's a terrible area to live in.
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, we had problems, didn't we, trying to find work, but we ended up getting on this job seekers sort of thing. They sent us to college for a week and then sent us to a job placement, which happened to be the butchers, and we've ended up being butchers out of it. So I guess we've got kind of lucky, but I suppose there aren't them opportunities for everyone.
Yeah, I think if you really want to get a job, then there is the jobs out there, definitely. I started working for Virgin 3 months ago now, and I left one job on the Friday and I started again on the Monday, so absolutely, there's jobs out there for people that want them.
And joining me now in the studio to talk us through the local regional headlines, Erica Barker.
Hi, I'm going to start off with a story then in the Grimsby Telegraph. This is a plea for items to boost area's food bank stocks. This is the Daily Bread food larder based in Immingham. They're looking for anything that people may be able to donate, especially tinned items, food, any kind of food really, toiletries and plastic carrier bags they're after as well. They actually helped 3,700 people across North East Lincolnshire, and that was within 1 year, 12 months, and a quarter of whom were women. That's to meet demand. So they do a fantastic job, and they're really after people to, if they've got any kind of any food spare to.
And it's a non-perishable foods they're after in Immingham there. Interesting that they need plastic bags. Do you think that's a consequence of the new plastic bag tax? If there's a shortage of plastic bags, that there aren't so many sort of in currency, as it were.
Yeah. No, that's probably going to be the reason.
Very
It's
well.
quite annoying, that, isn't it?
What?
Do you find
The
that
plastic
whole
bag tax?
plastic bags in a shop annoying?
No, not really. No.
Do you not?
Just take
I
a
mean, I
bag
know
with
it's
me.
good for the environment and stuff, but I'm always a person who forgets and always has to buy, you see. Maybe that's
Well,
what
if the
it
worst
is.
comes to the worst, 5 pence is not a disaster, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'll
or
move on.
okay.
I'll move on. Do you know the Grimsby film with Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yes.
That's he's just revealed the promo poster for that. Do you know it's going to be out on February the 24th? That's the set release for the comedy. So quite controversial, and it's only a few weeks away till people will be able to see it.
Yes, he picked Grimsby for the title and the location for it, although Grimsby looks too beautiful and smart for him to film the sort of conditions that he was trying to mock.
Exactly.
And so he went and filmed it in East London.
Yeah, a lot of the scenes,
Well,
I'd say 3/4 aren't in Grimsby, are
I
they?
think that speaks volumes about Grimsby and to Grimsby's credit.
Yes, definitely.
And not to his. But anyway, I'm being defensive now. Being very defensive already, and I haven't seen the film. I look forward to seeing the film.
You feel very passionate.
And then I'll be cross about it.
This is a bit of a serious one. Villagers are being warned to be vigilant. This is in Tetney. People have been reporting some suspicious behaviour in the village, including 2 men looking over fences, into gardens, bending down next to cars. A few things going on there, and the police have said anybody seeing anything that may be a bit dodgy to give them a ring and to report it as soon as possible.
Okay. Possible burglars casing the joint in Tetney.
This one then, once again in the Grimsby Telegraph. This is shoreline workers are preparing to brave the cold by sleeping outside to raise money for Grimsby's homeless. This will take place on the 29th of January, and all money raised will go to Grimsby and Cleethorpes YMCA.
Now, this is an annual event that we're very well used to, aren't we?
Yeah, I think Dave, one of our reporters, went along and he slept out.
Dave Nunn did do it last year, and he said that it was extremely uncomfortable and extremely cold, but of course he had the comfort of knowing that he could go back home to a warm duvet whenever he wanted to, which is not the case for the street sleepers who are out there this winter.
No, it isn't. It isn't. So I think it's fantastic what they're doing to raise money. One more quick one then. Councillors have written to the Environment Agency urging them to make repairs to the banks of the River Hull. This is between Clough Road and Oak Road playing fields. Now residents are saying that the conditions are dangerous and deteriorating and something needs to be done about it.
Well, that's again a story that's always going to be with us, especially on the River Hull, the possibility of flooding there. And of course when you close that barrier, it just floods up the River Hull, doesn't it? Erica, thank you very much for coming in. Time now for the sports.
Scunthorpe United chairman Peter Swan has said that Iron will take their time in appointing a new manager after Mark Robbins and assistant manager Ned Kelly lost their jobs. Swan says the club has already received CVs from candidates who believe they have what it takes to lead the Iron and take up what he calls an attractive position as club manager in his third manager search in his 3.5-year tenure as chairman. Coaches Andy Dawson and Nick Dawes have been put in charge for Saturday's game against Colchester United, who are currently second to bottom of League One. Following a pitch inspection, Grimsby FC's game this evening versus Bromley FC has been postponed due to a frozen pitch. Elsewhere, it's reported that Hull City manager Steve Bruce is facing tough choices to keep the squad happy as preparations are underway for this weekend's trip to Fulham, and he looks to pick his team. In other news, it's thought Bruce is desperate to sign on loan Arsenal defender Isaac Hayden on a permanent deal. The 20-year-old defender scored his first senior goal in Hull's 6-0 win over Charlton Athletic on Saturday, having forced his way into the starting lineup after spending the majority of his loan spell on the bench. And Hull FC's Fetuli Talanoa is hoping he can continue his impressive form in Hull derbies when the Black and Whites face Hull Kingston Rovers this weekend in the Clive Sullivan Trophy. The annual derby fixture on Sunday is at the Casey Stadium and kick-off is at 2. And that's the latest from the sport.
If you have a news story for us, then do please visit our Facebook or Twitter pages, email news@estuary.tv or phone Grimsby 01472 31553. Until tomorrow, good evening.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Rix Petroleum, your local family-owned heating oil supplier this winter. Rix, servicing the region's oil boilers this winter from a name you can trust. Get in touch at rix.co.uk or call us on 01482 838383.